Good morning from Sacred Space at Titania's Realm. It's 11:14 a.m. on the 28th of July 2024. My goodness, it was only felt like a month ago when I was saying I can't believe we're into July, and blink and it's nearly the end of July. A lot's happened this month. This has been an astonishing milestone, turning point in my personal Britannia existence. It's been quite an awakening in more ways than one, darlings. But never mind. I had a good night's sleep last night. I slept 9 hours, which was much better than the 4.5 I had the night before. I was quite shattered yesterday, actually, but I feel good. I slept okay, and I'm awake and aware, and I've been up since I woke up at I think it was 7 a.m. I was like, when I woke up that early, I was like, what the fuck? But I looked at my CPAP machine and it said that I had slept 9 hours, and I actually did sleep most of that 9 hours because I only got up to pee once, which once during a 9 hour period is excellent. My urologist, if she's watching, will be like, yay, Tanya, CPAP's working. I hope it is working and it's not just this temporary lull and then I get slammed with some awfulness down the track, because I'm always waiting for the fucking shoe to fall. Historically, the shoe always falls, so there is that. But no, I'm thinking the CPAP is improving. I can see it with my bladder. I don't actually feel all that refreshed sleep-wise. I don't feel like it's fixing the sleep apnea per se, but it's helping the bladder, and if that's all it's going to do, then that's good enough. I'm used to walking around in a permanent mind fog and a daze of exhaustion, of chronic exhaustion. I've been doing this for 59 and 59 years and 4.5 months. So no, hang on, April, May, June, July, 4 years and 3.5 months. I've been doing this, strutting my stuff in a constant haze of what feels to me as high functioning, as way subpar to everyone else. But for someone who's in a constant state of chronic exhaustion, have I achieved a lot this year? Pumping out my videos every day, dancing wildly in the weekend, sometimes 2 nights like happened this week, well, Thursday, Friday. I've done well. I've done very well indeed. So I'm not sweating the small stuff. If the CPAP doesn't fix my sleep states per se, meh. I've produced what I've produced, not very much compared to healthy, normal people that have healthy, normal, consecrated, safe, protected lives. But I've achieved a lot, so I'm gonna have a wee moment to pat myself on the back, and maybe I'll give my matryoshkas a little twirl. They don't spin, but I should make them so that they spin. And we'll just kiss the baby. Hello, baby. And we'll put the baby away back to bed, because can't have babies screaming in my ear all right now. I did that for years. And the rewards of it, the final outcome, which was hoping to be loved and be a grandmother one day, neither of those manifested, so fuck it. Now I wear babies in my ears, tucked away, hidden like naughty little secrets. I don't know what I'm raving on about. Naughty little secret babies. I love babies, someone else's, not my own. Too much bloody work. I'm so bitterly disappointed that I didn't get to reap the rewards of all that hard grinding work when I was deeply traumatised and living with monsters, by the way, to at least see, you know, to hold my grandchildren in my arms and say, oh, well, you're the next generation and you made all that other evil bullshit worth it. And, you know, it is what it is. It is what it is. We've lost a whole generation now anyway, basically. So I'm not happy about that. Don't think for one moment that I supported that or I'm happy about it. But, you know. So those of you who still can, go forth and multiply. If not for your own sake, but so that you get to reap the rewards of your labour, literally labour and labours, raising children, and look into the eyes of your grandchildren one day. That's all I have to say about that. And no judgment on those of you who never wanted children. That too is a choice, and I understand why those choices were made, because if I knew how hard my life was going to be, I probably would have made that choice too, early on in the piece. And but I wanted my children. I wanted them with every fibre of my being. In fact, I even dreamt of my daughter Jasmine long, and she was a surprise package. But I actually dreamt of her about a year or two before I fell pregnant with her. I knew she was coming. I knew another soul is going to be sent to me to be the vessel of their birth. And, you know, in her eyes, I was just literally the uterus and the gash to slide out of. And but, you know, she was wanted, fought for actually, had to fight to keep her. She was wanted. She tried to pull this bullshit on me when she was about 17, 18, some psychotic break. Oh, you never wanted me. I fought for her existence. She wasn't a planned pregnancy, no. But once I found out she was on the way, well on the way, I was already 2 months pregnant when I found out. I said, no, I'll be keeping this baby. No one comes between me and my babies. I was prepared to walk out of my marriage and my relationship with my mother and my husband. Then and there, I packed a bag, packed Crystal's. Crystal was only a baby when I fell in with Jasmine. She was about 10 months old when I found out I was pregnant with Jasmine. So I packed her nappy bag and grabbed my handbag. And I'm not going to abort my child. I'm out of here. And when they realised I actually meant it, did they quickly change the tune? But that was a mistake, actually, to stay with those kind of monsters that even wanted to treat my unborn child like it was, an undesirable byproduct of the fuckery, which... by the way, the sex of my marriage was pretty fucking awful, so you could argue that she was a byproduct, but that's not the point. The point is, she was created and gifted to me by the gods, and I fought for her. So, if she ever looks at my videos, which I doubt because my daughter hates my guts for, multiple reasons, some of them I understand, some of them I don't, you were fought for with every fibre of my being. And when I stopped fighting for you, around about the time you turned 13, became problematic, too problematic. I had too much going on concurrent to cope with that. So I ceased fighting for you, and the hatred started to embed within your soul. That too was a choice that you chose, and it is what it is. You are and always will be forever my child, and you're a product of intergenerational trauma and decades of cumulative harms visited upon us. And it is what it is. And wherever you are, Jasmine, I hope you're thriving and life is treating you sweet. And I'll give you credit. You've since 2015, we've never had any contact, not one word, not one scarret of contact. But by the same token, you've never used or abused me or made any demands of me. So I honour that, your ability to be financially independent and not be a parasite on your mother who, well, even if you wanted to be, there's very little support I could have ever given you, given my own level of poverty. But I respect that you respected me enough to not be a burden to me after that time. So, and the last little bit of scrap of news I was gifted rather randomly was that she's got a very excellent job, makes $100,000 a year. That's nice. I don't have to worry about your financial stability. Although money doesn't buy back your heart or your soul or your relationships, by the way, but it takes the edge off some things, you know. And I've heard that she has a nice partner, so I don't know, maybe one day, you know, you'll get married, maybe you won't, maybe you'll just cohabit till the day you die. However it works for you, I don't care, no judgment. But I hope one day, you know, it's very late in the piece since she's now 36, that you have a child of your own, if that's what you want. She did tell me around about the age 23 that she's never going to have children, so maybe she was told that, or maybe she chose that. And however it manifests, it's her life as an individual soul to make her own decisions and choices. But, you know, I wear my babies in my ears as kind of a cosmic joke that I create my own children, you know, with my jewellery making and my occasional artistic attempts, and you kind of have to laugh. My babies are out in the world, but they're not physical babies that grow into adult women or men. They're just ideas and my spirituality and my creativity, birthing new paradigms. That's my baby now, birthing a new paradigm, one where we're all safe and protected and nurtured and, you know, gifted basic rights and human dignity and kindness and protection. And, well, they're all very noble ideas, aren't they? They don't always pan out either. Let's be real here. So I'm going to stop there. I don't know why this little emotional, effervescent, frothing and bubbling came up about my daughter Jasmine, but it's all good, you know. As I said, they're adult women, they have their own path, and I was merely the vessel of their existence on this planet. And in my worldview, I have failed. I have failed to gain any of their love and any of their respect or genuine care. So it's a grief that will sit with me probably until the day I die, and it is what it is. Anyway, if the CPAP works in 6 to 12 months, I'll have more potent, powerful love energy and innovation to pour into my own being, to create even more powerful new paradigms, and create the most beautiful life for my own self, instead of giving all my energy out to other people that if I went away tomorrow, didn't come into their world anymore and do my wild dance, didn't follow my bands around anymore, you know, they wouldn't even notice I was missing, very likely. It's that's how transient and superficial that world is. I'm fully consciously aware of that, by the way. I'm fully conscious, you know, that the energy I poured into the Live Wire Bar dance space for 12 years, smoke and ashes babies, you know, not one of them, apart from my friends in the bands, not one of them kept contact or bothered with me. That's how empty and callow and shallow that space was. So I'm well aware. I come, I give my energy. Those of you who love me receive it wholeheartedly. Those of you who don't. And but I'm thinking very seriously about, you know, pouring more. What's my laptop done? Pouring more positive, powerful energy into building my life back up so that I am prosperous in all my undertakings by my own talents and abilities, and not being dependent or living off the condescending, patronising kind of charity of others. Although I haven't seen much condescension or patronising in recent years, I have to say that's lovely. Used to be a lot of that going on too. But just being in my own power, having my power manifest even more powerfully than ever before, perhaps. Not being afraid to express it, perhaps. Or it depends. It's whatever the gods decide they want me to represent or exemplify or show up as. It's all a little bit weird and confronting at times. But my beautiful life is here now already. I've been shown so much love and support in the last, 2 years, but really intensely in the last 12 months. And so it's the beginning of wonderful things, and I just need to allow and accept with grace and gratitude all the love poured into me and pay it forward and manifest it in astonishing and magical and beautiful ways. And I don't know how much time I have on earth anyway. No one does. No one ever did pre-COVID. No, our lifespans are not decided by us. We think we have control over it, but ultimately we don't. So I don't know how much time I have left, but my psychiatrist has fought to gift me more time, wants to see me achieve the true love and the bliss and the peace and perhaps even success or prosperity, and however that manifests in my life, with harm to none and competition with none. So it is done. I want it to be because of my own actions and abilities and fierce determination to make it in this world. And it's kind of tragic that at 59 years and, 3 months and 2 weeks, haven't quite made it, but I'm okay with that. I didn't have the same starting blocks everyone else had at birth. So it's all good and I'm okay with it. Might grumble about it occasionally, but I'm okay with it. So, oh my goodness. So today's memories of the 28th of July 2024 are titled Edelweiss, Every Morning You Greet Me. It's a song that was sung in The Sound of Music. Spotify it. It's a very lovely song, sentimental and sweet, symbolic of the Edelweiss being the I think it's the national emblem of Austria, actually. That's why they threw that in, because the film was set in Austria. But symbol of purity coming up in amongst the cold ice ground and the thaw of winter, and yes, symbol of thriving in amongst the hard, unbroken ground. Well, here we go, babies. Today's title photo is Johnny Depp, quote, "We're all damaged in our own way. Nobody's perfect. I think we're all somewhat screwy. Every single one of us." And to you, Mr. Depp, indeed, we are. Some of us were born a bit more screwy, and some of us were screwed over so many times we became screwy, and some of us are just delightful little buckets of magic and awe and awesomeness, and we might be screwed, but we know how to turn the screw and make something beautiful out of it, my darlings. July 28th, 2023. I woke up at 10 a.m. I felt a strange sensation in my body, almost like a stirring in my sacral chakra. 1 year ago, babies. Still haven't done anything with that per se. I'm being very, very patient and good, waiting for the one, my one and only loyal, faithful, loving partner to manifest. Mama T is reintegrating her sexuality after 8 years of celibacy. Try 9 years now. 13 years since I broke up with Courtney, whom I dated for 5 years. 14 years now. Not that I care about that idiot. I mean, God. Oh, God. I honestly, I would say, what was I thinking? But I wasn't thinking, was I? It's just like I wasn't thinking when I entered into my marriage as a young girl. So anyone I'm looking at now has been thought about quite a lot. I've been observing, I've been making sure everything's kosher and copacetic, which is kind of interesting since that man's not even available. So I don't know why I've even invested that much into making sure everything's sacred and protected and loved. But I guess post-traumatic trauma issues from bad relationships makes me even be very cautious about friendships with men now, unfortunately. Been bitten and stung and bit on the breast too many times, not just by male friendships either, but women friends as well. It's been completely evil what I've been put through in my lifetime, and I hope I don't ever reincarnate in this planet ever again. It's a beautiful, exquisite planet full of the most wondrous awe and beauty and nature, but human beings, my experience on this planet has not been all that pleasant with other human beings, just saying. So anyway, on we go. I just realised it's been almost 19 years since I met him. So that would make it almost 20. Yes. Yes, that would be correct. No, actually, no, that's not correct. I met him at the end of 2005. So, no, I got that date wrong there. It would be almost 19 years this year. 19 years. Could raise a human being in that time, couldn't you? Anyway, it's probably why I keep getting very young men approaching me, because I put a lot of energy back in that time wanting another child, and it never manifested. So now my sons come to me as 18, 19, 20-year-olds, showing me of what I missed out on, I suppose. But I don't want young men as lovers, like, ooh. But I think that's kind of the, the message is, here we are, born to other women and leading full and happy life and coming to just acknowledge me, I guess. Anyway, that relationship began on the tail end of healing from much ghastly horror, and was manipulated and orchestrated by my former forensic psych nurse friend, who actually had the gall to deny it. But, she manipulated. I know that for a fact. Mama T always gets the truth, always. So I find it amusing when people try to lie to my face, pull the wool over my eyes, doesn't wash, because I get the truth in other ways. Sometimes astonishingly, the truth might come out, might take 20 years, but the truth always comes to me in the end. As my friend Lynn Sloan always says, Tanya, you always get the end of the story. And I do. It's a gift from my gods, actually. Gives me peace and resolution too, to get the end of the story of things that I didn't understand at the time, what was happening in the background. Always gets revealed. So don't ever underestimate me, people of Earth. If you're playing me for a fool, it's you, ultimately, who is, was, and ever shall be the fool. And you're beyond redemption, by the way. When you do that to other people, it's nasty. There'll be no forgiveness or redemption for you, from me anyway. You might get it from other fools that don't know any better. But as they say in Aussie, don't come the raw prawn with me. Anyway, you can't make sense out of nonsense was her favourite witticism. Well, actually, it's kind of a projection, isn't it, given she tried to play me for some kind of gimp or fool? No, but you can kick it to the curb and heal yourself over long decades until you recalibrate your sexuality, sensuality, spirit, and psyche, so that perhaps one day, excuse me, you will invite into your body and mind and spirit a man that truly loves you, delights in you, respects you, treats you with kindness, and is loyal and faithful to you. So you can at last have a safe, healthy, nurturing, equally satisfying relationship that blossoms into a solid partnership that no ugly, putrid, rancid creature can sabotage or destroy. Maybe. In the meantime, my body is telling me she is ready, willing, and able to allow love in her sacred spaces again. But can I trust in her, my body, I mean? Her inner knowing, or her declension into death that will grasp at life by fully inflaming its sexuality like a last fucking hurrah. I guess I will just keep dancing and wait for the one I can trust with all of me to be there for all of me and not just for the frottering. How will I know who really loves me? I will let the gods decide, since I have proven myself incapable of succeeding at love on my own terms. Sad but true. Having fallen in love with monsters, zombies, demons, and trickster spirits before, too many times, I eagerly, but with great trepidation, await the one mortal man who will love me without the abuse I endured for decades. A man who is clean and clear, noble, wise, and sincerely loving. A man who sees me, has eyes only for me, and yes, dates me. I have to laugh. Well, that hasn't happened in decades, people. It really hasn't. So, I mean, I can't even imagine what going out on a date with a man would be like. I'd be a wreck. I'd be an absolute fucking wreck. It'd have to be someone I know and trust quite well, like a friend or something that decides that he wants to pursue something, more of a romantic nature or sexual nature, and asks me out on a proper date, because I could never go on a blind date ever again. And I certainly could never do internet dating. It gives me the fucking heebie-jeebies. And, someone I just randomly meet, I don't know where, but I don't think I could even date someone I just randomly met. I don't know how how do you get to know someone if you don't date them? You don't. So it's impossible. So this is where I've been trapped by too, not being willing to date people because I don't fucking trust most people. That's the problem. Well, it's not really a problem. Keeps me safe, but it means it's preventing me from finding the one. But anyway, the one that chooses to be my partner will date me, and he won't play emotional games, and he'll be open and honest, and he'll communicate effectively and courteously and respectfully every day or every night. Maybe not every single day. We don't want anyone needy or codependent, because that'll give me the heebie-jeebies and I'll run a mile. But what do I mean by that? Someone who doesn't leave me hanging or in doubts or fears and trepidation, feeling like I'm just being played with, I've had that too many times in the past. And instant block, delete, snip, snip, snip. Ding, they're gone. The minute I catch them playing emotional games with me, they're gone. Faster than you can say, motherfucker. Trust me on that one. Anyway, not everyone's a motherfucker. I've discovered there are lovely people out in the world, but no one's willing to take me on, and I get it. I understand. I understand the issues at hand. They're enormous, absolutely enormous. So I'm not going to sweat the small stuff about that. I'll just keep living my best life, no matter what, no matter who, for my own, my own happiness and health and vigour and power. And you know, one day things could change, one day I might not be here, so it won't matter then. Whatever the gods decree. I tell you what, they've been mischievous lately, my gods. They really have. 9 o'clock last night, actually, I had this powerful love energy just soak over me. I was sitting there on the couch watching the show, and I thought, oh, am I having this emotional response? Because it wasn't actually a great movie either, but it was some peppy but sweet little English romantic comedy, you know. And so, oh, am I having this powerful love soaking and energy? Is that coming from an emotional response to this movie? And I thought, no, the movie's not that good to move me in that way. So I sat there on the couch, just soaked in this. Felt like a warm bath being poured over me. I was like, who is it doing that? Is it a living person? Is it a god? Is it a spirit? Is it an ancestor? I don't know. But it stayed there for about 5 minutes. And then the words came, I love you. And I just nodded, sitting on my couch. Thank you. And then they went away. No idea what that was. It's very, very odd. But it happens quite regularly now, you know. Not every day, but every so often I'll just get this powerful spiritual, you know, presentation of just such immense love. It's just gorgeous, people of Earth. So I guess, what do I need a human man for if I have gods and angels and spirits soaking me in love and comforting me, you know, here alone in my little cottage? What do I need anyone for? I have everything I need gifted to me in astonishing ways, by the way. Powerful, powerful loves and powerful gifts. And I'm happy. I'm happy with that much. A human man to hold me in his arms for real would be lovely. But, you know, how long would it last? An hour? Half an hour? A day? A night? 3 hours till the sun comes up, tweet, tweet, off they go running with their underpants around their ankles. No, we did that. We did that for a while back in the early 2010, well, 2011 to 2015. We did that. We had that little run of fecundity, and just, it was awful how I was treated, actually. Really fucking awful. Which is why I shut down everything. I actually thought I'd shut it down permanently, by the way. And here we are, 2023, me describing that I'd come alive back in my sexuality. That too is a gift, to feel those beautiful, juicy, enlivening sexual energies again. I'd knocked those down and locked them down for a very, very long time. So I still haven't done anything with them though. Not really. You know, not really. Just doing my dance, waiting to see whose heart is truly, you know, of their own free will, body, mind and spirit and soul. Soul belongs to God. Whose heart is truly opened for me. And yes, it sounds like a romantic fantasy, but it happens for people, that they find their true loving partner. It does happen. So there's no reason why, even with all my squidgy ways and brokenness, and rebuilt and reconfigured and kintsugi'd, there's no reason why it can't happen for me too one day. It really, there's no reason for it. The only thing that will prevent it from happening would be me, because I thought rightly or wrongly, that that person is untrustworthy, or they triggered me too much in some cruel, sadistic way, or they demonstrated that they're not capable of being loyal. There'll be something that will throw a spanner in the works. There always is. There's always something. But that's okay if that happens, because it means that that person wasn't the right fit for me and they're not safe to be with, and I'm spared another decade of fucking agony, by the way. Or worse, 2 decades, or God's forbid if I should live so long, 3 decades. My beautiful psychiatrist wanting me to live to 89. My goodness. Anyway, ironically, my mad father lived to 3 days short of his 89th birthday, so it's not completely in the realms of science fiction. It's just seems astonishing given, my health issues and how difficult my life has been. But, my mother lived to 83, which was also equally astonishing given her background of surviving the war in Nazi Germany and very abusive husbands that tried to kill her, and her own asthma and her own issues. She did well to drag her ass through to 83. So it's possible. It's possible I might have many, many years ahead of me. And I don't want them to be lonely and isolated, sitting on my couch or perched up on my chair giving YouTube videos about how sad and tragic life is. I'm not going to be doing that. If my life continues to be sad and fucking tragic, I won't be lasting around till 89, trust you. Trust me on that one. I'll be out of here quicker than you can say out of here. But I've got hope for my future for the first time in my life, actually. More hope than I've ever had. Isn't that ironic? As the world went mad and crumbled into dust, I rose up from my own ashes and having my own Phoenixian uprising. Not for the first time, by the way. I've blown myself back into life from smoke and ashes dozens of times since early childhood. So it's the other reason that men fear me, because they know that bottom line, I don't actually need them or anyone. I want one. I want the one, because I think it would be lovely to spend the rest of my life from now until however long we both have allotted to us, in a companionship that is joyful and fun and respecting and caring and passionate and romantic and tender and generous. I don't necessarily mean about monetary things, generosity, but just sharing and caring and being generous to each other, wanting the best for each other and making sure that both parties are safe and protected and loved. A real relationship, not the shallow, artificial, fake motherfuckers I had in the past. For the love of all the gods. What was that? Don't answer that question. I know what it was. Just don't want to dwell on that consciousness anymore. Anyway, still in 2023. I'm going to need to get a drink of water. My throat's closing up. Yesterday was a very weird day. Yesterday was the 28th of July 2023 I'm talking about. It was a very weird day. I almost ran over a cat that ran across the road on my way to reverse garbage. The cat was running from a woman walking her dog. Oh yes, I remember that now. Oh, that was a terrible fright. Here I write, I got a hell of a fright. Workmen on the tiny crowded street witnessed it. I rolled down my window and said, that cat has just used up one of its 9 lives, but I'm glad I didn't hit it as I love cats. The workman holding the stop and go sign was laughing. I would have been distraught if I'd actually hit and killed that cat. It would have ruined my entire week. So, but what a fright. What a fright. The cat got a fright. I got a fright. The woman with the dog was oblivious, didn't see what had happened. But anyway, poor pussycat was running from the dog. Then when I bought my wares at Reverse Garbage, oh yes, that man's a little bit sweet on me actually. It's very sweet. The man at the counter, presumably the owner, he's not the owner, I've since discovered, but it doesn't matter. But he's so sweet to me. Another sweetheart, sweet soul that's lit up for me randomly. Asked me which box I wanted. There were two to choose from, a plain one and this uber colourful one. I replied prosaically, I don't mind. After all, a box is a box is a box, as long as it serves its purpose. And I hadn't thought about it, but that sounds kind of sexual. But that wasn't what I was intending. But anyway, he looked at me sanguinely, then gave me the lovely, colourful one. Last time I was there when I bought my spinning wheel, he asked me why I don't come more regularly to Reverse Garbage. And I just looked at him and I just said to him, oh, because I only come when I actually have something in mind that I want to buy. And I said, if I don't need things, what am I going to be coming down here for all the time, looking at him meaningfully? He blushed. He was like, I thought, oh, you sweetheart. He's a lot older than me, but I guess I could overlook that, you know. I guess I could. If someone really loves you, it's like, what's age got to do with it? I just don't want 20-year-old boys, that's all. I mean, they're not boys, but you know what I mean. Compared to me, they're boys. But yeah, anyway, that one at Reverse Garbage. Oh, does he get excited when I show up? And I'm always in a mad hurry because I'm always hyper-focused. You know, last time I was focused on the spinning wheel, but then I already had asked them to put it aside for me, so they knew it was coming for that. But then I got obsessed with buying all these lovely, very nice papers for scrapbooking or for I don't know what I'm going to make with them actually. But I got obsessed and I was quickly, passionately rifling through it. And he's watching me, this gentleman, with all my passion and intensity. And he's like getting all excited. And I'm like, oh dear goddess. Oh dear goddess. Anyway, I bought quite a lot because I bought mannequin arms for my chairs up the back. And I bought quite a lot, as well as the spinning wheel. So, oh, why don't you come more regularly? I'm like, oh, darling, why don't I come more regularly? But no. Yeah, but no, but yeah, but no. But anyway, he is a sweetheart. I was delighted. Random acts of kindness. I drove home with great joy in my heart, actually. It was so sweet. It was such a sweetness. However, Spirit was still whispering in my ear, accident. And I replied, I know, almost killing that cat was mortifying, but at the intersection, the crossroads next to my home, I almost had another accident. So the Spirit was warning me, was telling me the truth, but I thought they were referring to me nearly running over the pussycat. So that was a shock too. Very, very, very powerful, potent confirmation that whoever was with me that day was, they weren't kidding around. They warned me twice. They could have warned me about the sweet gentleman at Reverse Garbage having the sweets on me though. They could have. Why is my lipstick going walkabout? It's not even a glossy one. Oh, bejesus. Then I got home, unpacked my groceries and set about washing the new bottles and removing the stickers off them. Right, I bought bottles as well. Then I took my pets for a customary walk. Some toxic, venal bitch that lives on Opal Street. Oh, she was a nasty. I'm looking at her house right now. Fucking thing it is. But anyway, started a fight with me when I glared at her because she lets her dog come out to attack us when we walk past. So I had every right to glare at her. You know, like, don't let your animals out attacking other people walking on our public streets. She never shuts her gates. She's a bloody pest. So she says to me, what is your problem? Knowing full well that letting her dog attack other dogs is the problem. I should have just reported the bitch, actually. Oh, honestly. And unbeknownst to me, Bobo was about to die a couple of days after that. That was his last fucking thing, that altercation with that bitch. Then when Bobo snarled at her dog and tried to bite it, naturally, the bitch accused me of kicking her dog. I really lost it then. I told her I would never kick an animal. You filthy fucking liar. Oh my goddess, she is a piece of work. She tried to threaten me with, I know where you live. I replied, I know where you live too, and what kind of person you are. Then I walked home. I was furious all evening about it. The scum dog owner. That thing needs to be put in a box permanently. I pitied her small children. A monster for a mother. She needs to get a hobby instead of entertaining herself by letting her dog attack passers-by. Anyway, here's a photo because I'm obsessed about the way that man wanted to gift me with the nicer box but went around it in such a strange way. Men blow my mind sometimes, how weird they can be with me. But there's the box. It had the very pretty gift paper in the bottom. And there's all the things I bought. My bottles and my cigar box I keep my silver pieces in it. And things I bought for coasters. And it was quite the harvest. Quite the harvest. But I haven't thrown that box out. I've still got it. I couldn't bear to throw it out because there was such a sweetness attached to it. So I just store things in it now. But one day I'll throw it out. It's not like I'm interested in that man or dating him or have any real interest in him. Apart from that he's sweet on me, which is cute. I'm not all that interested in him. But I just thought it was delightful, you know. Which box would you like? Oh, dear goddess. And last time. Why don't you come here more regularly? I was like, oh, darling, if I come here more regularly, you're going to think we're in some kind of relationship or friendship. And it's going to get weird. So anyway, I only go to shops when I want things specifically. I'm not there just moonlighting for the sake of heaven, you know. Sometimes in the old days, I used to like to go around just looking at shops, just browsing, because I was bored and, you know, what else was I going to do with my time? But I don't do that anymore. I actually avoid most shops. I even avoid the supermarket. You have to drag me kicking and screaming to the supermarket. The only reason I'll go is because I've run out of fucking food. That's how much I hate going to the shops. So anyway, but I realised when he said that he's a bit sweet on me, and he was probably hoping that I'd go, oh, well, darling, I'll come every week and maybe you'll date me. I wonder if I said that to him, what he'd do. I bet you he'd run a fucking mile. But anyway, I should do it actually. Just stir them up back and go, oh yes, what date and time would you like me here? I'll have an appointment with you regularly. Just see what he does. Oh, but then he might go, oh yes, please. And then I'll be fucked, won't I? Not literally, you understand. But anyway, oh dear goddess. Men wanting me at their at their pleasure, at their beck and call, like some little fucking dolly spinning on a dime in a music box. Even my friend Scott said to me on Friday night that I'm allowed a week off if I want to. Like, oh, I have permission to take time off. Oh, my darling. Oh, my darling. Anyway, I do what I want to do for my own reasons that sometimes don't make sense to me either, if the truth be known. Sometimes I'll be going somewhere and I'll be driving to some place, and I'll be, as I'm driving along, I'll be like, what the fuck, what the fuck, what the fuck, why? What's this actually about? Like, but if I'm sent somewhere or I'm on some kind of a mission, I don't dare question it. Fortunately, I haven't been sent on any actual missions in a long time. The gods have been kinder to me in the last 12 months. Beauregard is unwell today. Please keep being kind to me, by the way. Please keep being kind. Beauregard is unwell today. This is when he started going downhill so dramatically out of the blue. He came down quite suddenly as he had just welcomed Lynn with great glee and delight, then lay down looking lethargic and feeble. Lynn and I searched his fur for ticks but didn't find any. He's been slightly off colour for a few days. I wrapped him in a woolen blanket, which, when he is normal, he absolutely hates, and put him on a big floor cushion. He lay under my bed for a while. I gave him some cheese, which he did nibble at. He is drinking water. He lay on the cushion for a couple of hours. When he saw me climb into my own bed just now, 5:15 p.m, with nervous exhaustion, worrying about my dog, he climbed up onto my bed with me, which is probably better for him as I have the electric blanket on, and he loves to snuggle with me. I won't be going dancing tonight, as I want to keep an eye on him, my best and only Beau, my precious one. I just changed my sheets today also, and cleaned Charlie's cage. 7:51 p.m. Update on Bobo. He just ate a few little meaty balls called clunkers. I carried him outside before he ate, and he did some hard little poos, but that was a good sign. I had to nag him to have a wee, but he eventually did a light stream. I used my torch on my iPhone to check on the colour of his urine. It looked normal, but I'm still praying that whatever struck him down this afternoon is passing out of him. I rang the Animal Welfare League number, those evil fucking dirty cunts. No, I'm not over it. It's only been a year. I'm not over it. But they are closed until Monday, and their voice message suggested the animal emergency vets at Underwood, which charge like bloodletting wounded bulls. They're cunts too, by the way. However, if he takes a turn for the worse, I will have to pay it on ZipPay and incur more debt. My dog is my life. I feel relieved that he is eaten, albeit only a small amount. That is a positive sign. And I posted comments from a woman that defriended me over my dogs dying. Another sadistic, evil bitch. But her comments are up here. She was being supportive initially, and then she turned like a sadistic rabid dog. So I don't know what even that was about, but I'm not going to read all that interaction with her. It's just too awful, and I'm not going to feed that creature, more energy. I don't even know why I posted it up on Vocal Media, probably because I like to maintain integrity and truth and show everything that went down. I'm glad I did now, because I can actually see when she turned too. Awful it was. I won't say her name, but I wrote to her I have already put out epic prayers to the multiverses. I hope it's not too little too late. Not enough money means I will have to surrender him to the RSPCA if it's serious. I don't want to live without him. He's all I've got. But I'm hoping it's nothing serious. I tend to get hysterical when my pets get sick, as so many have died at the hands of malfeasant vets or strange unexplained illnesses. If Bobo dies, I won't get any more dogs. I can't take the stress when they get really sick. I'm still not over losing 3 cats in 3 years. It's only been 2 years since Socks died. And then she goes on to tell me how wonderful AWL are, which is a blatant fucking lie. It wasn't the case in my case, in Bobo's case. And how much help she received. And I don't know what she did to receive the help. I was treated very, very badly indeed. And just beyond awful. I mean, she says here, they will give you medications to take home. You need no money. They put in an in-house payment plan for low-income earners or non-employed. They didn't help me. They charged me over $1,000 and they were sadistic and vicious. And they kept him there without letting me have a proper goodbye to him. I had to just turn up in the end and say, I'm come to see my dog. He came out, he was doped out of his skull, so they'd already given him pre-medication for euthanization, not expecting that I would turn up early and want to spend time with him. And he vomited and he was shaking and barely conscious that I was there. They stole my dog. They hijacked my dog on the day he died. I took him there at 8 o'clock. In the morning, he was supposed to have an ultrasound. It should have been finished by midday. They hadn't even done it. The whole thing was appalling. I hope they blow up. I hope they just, everyone that works there that participated in that sadism, I hope they just blow up. But that's evil of me. It's a dog. But I understand how terrorists get made. I really do. Because we were just treated so badly that day. My blood's just chilled to the bone thinking about how badly we were treated. I was absolutely othered and discriminated against that day. And I don't even know why. It's not like I was rude or insulting to anyone. I wasn't arrogant. I wasn't obnoxious. I was just wanting treatment, proper basic care for my dog. And anyway, as you can tell, I'm not over it. Absolutely not over it. Anyway, the most evil slams me whenever I'm vulnerable and my animals need proper medical care. There's a pattern of that. It happened with all the cats too. I think only Penny when she got put down, received proper treatment and really loving, sweet, gentle, tender care. And it was a woman, a German woman vet. She was a wonderful vet. The next time I went back to that same vet, we were treated sadistically, again, this time by a man. So you can't even factor in going to the same business, because sometimes it just depends which vet's rostered on and whether they're a psychopath or a sadist or not. But I have to say, that woman that put down Penny was a wonderful woman and vet, or a vet who happened to be a wonderful woman. She's the only one in years and years of pet ownership that was actually decent when it came to the end. So it's another reason why I won't get any more pets. I can't go through suffering like that with the sadism that you endure when you're vulnerable and your animals are dying. You know, you don't deserve to be treated like that. It's utterly abhorrent. Anyway, I said, he seems okay this morning, but still tired and lethargic, hasn't eaten. Eyes look brighter though, and he's peed. So I had hopes that he would get better actually, and he was, as animals do, trying very hard to fake it till he made it, to rally just for me alone. But then he went very badly downhill and the decision had to be made. Anyway, I'm still traumatized by it a year later. It's unbelievable how evil and rotten it all was. 28th of July 2022. I had a lovely day. I spent it cleaning rust off my Edelweiss bells I think Lucy gave me years ago. One of her op shop finds. It was funny how Gail and Lucy used to always give me little things from Germany. It was another thing that broke the other day. It fell off my woman Dala. I had it hanging around her neck. It was of a little pottery little thing that said Willkommen on it with little flowers, and I had it hanging around my woman Dala on a piece of leather, and the leather must have cracked and it broke and it shattered, and I was like, oh, that's interesting, because that was a connection to Gail, and I've been talking about her in recent weeks quite regularly. Here's her daughter popping up, and yeah, that thing broke, and I was like, okay, weg damit, let it go. But yes, timing was kind of interesting, very interesting indeed. But after years of hanging outside, it was quite corroded. It still is. It's still hanging out there, corroded. I cleaned it up, but it's corroded again. I ground the rust off as much as possible, which took several hours, then hung it back up. Then I bathed the dog and took him and Charlie for a walk. We visited the dog park, and as no one was there, Bobo got to chase a ball at the park, so you should have seen his happy, gleeful face. It was 2 years ago. I need to go out to get groceries, but really can't be bothered as I'm quite tired now. But I guess it needs to happen. No milk, no tea, no chocolate, no dog tins of food means crisis, laughing my ass off. I might have a rest, then go to the supermarket. 28th of July 2021. Bobo just dug up my offering to Papa Legba, a lollipop, as I had no rum, and ate it. Bloody hell, nothing is sacred. Here's a really cute photo. Him digging up the lollipop. Can you see it? And there's like Charlie sitting right behind him. Very cute. So yes, I couldn't bury any more lollipop offerings because someone had a sweet tooth. I didn't even know someone had a sweet tooth. So there you go. Ha ha, I noticed Charlie is helping him steal the offerings to Papa Legba as well, like a dynamic and very defiant duo. Put the I back in defy, little buggers. My Deify t-shirt I had Jared made up for me. I designed the logo. At Carindale, had to buy bulk washing powder. Place is really, really quiet. Surreal. My right arm feels very weak as I had to use it to carry heavy items. Plus had to clean the fish pond filter yesterday. For some peculiar reason, I feel weaker today than yesterday after my colonoscopy. Must be a delayed reaction. I went through that entire fucking process in fight mode. Frankly, I'm so sick of having to struggle with everything by myself. But shit happens. I really needed the washing powder, otherwise I would have left it another few days or a week. I'm celebrating my freedom by eating Japanese curry for lunch. Home again, weak as a kitten. I'm going to lie in the hammock under the golden rain tree and read and snooze. I had to bring out my mohair throw as I got cold earlier. Deify. Every act of defiance brings you closer to warrior goddess status. Who is that man? Oh, someone delivering a parcel. Live proud and free, on your feet, head high. Never let the bastards grind us down. And here's my logo that is now transformed into a t-shirt. But it just popped into my head. The Spirit even showed me, I defy. Perfect symbol of what we were going through in 2021, by the way. July 28th of July. I just saw my tracking on my iPhone, the video tracking. 11111. My angels are sending me synchronicity numbers, which means they're either tweaking my spirit or they're preparing me for some new surprise. We'll just hope that it's a lovely surprise, something delightful and soul nourishing and tender and sweet, maybe even romantic, although I don't know. I have no idea. But my angels are at me, 1111, constantly the last few days. 28th of July 2020. Meanwhile at Sacred Space, the Charlie is hanging out in the compost bin. He has been very quiet. I had to call out for him to find out where he is hiding in the garden. And you can just see her, just there, and there's the compost bin. So, don't know what that was about, but anyway, she was hiding from her mama. Did a very good job of it too, had a hell of a job finding her. Waiting for Crystal and Jared's imminent arrival, he is sitting on my left foot, meditating on the meaning of the blue ball and the dog and his intrepid Mama T. Oh, he was just so beautiful. He really was. Should Mama get another doggy, Bobo? He said, no, Mama. It's all too raw still. I think so too. Another doggy deserves Mama's love though, Beauregard. But I can't afford it, so I won't. I'll calm my fucking farm. I'm just so used to always having cats and a dog and a house full of fur and feathery children that it feels empty in here. Just Charlie and I. 28th of July 2019. I just got woken up by my fur doctors, Beauregard and Penny, demanding tribute, I mean cuddles. Bobo tried to show Penny that he loves Mama T best by smothering me. She just watched in circumspection. Wise old girl knows love is not a competition. It just is. But Bobo is a jealous dog too. I had to shove him off so I could breathe. But to make up for the affront to Bobo's canine pride, I patted his head with my right hand and Penny's with my left, and she purred smugly and sagely, and Bobo was mollified. My fur angels, my fur kin, good morning. I had a lovely day and evening with Lynn yesterday. We chatted, bought Chinese for dinner, yum, and then sat by a fire we built out in the cold, crisp night air and looked at the stars and chatted some more. A beautiful night. Haven't seen much of her lately, actually. She's been busy with her own family and friends, other friends, and smallest violin. But no, sometimes it's good that we have a little break from each other because we see a lot. We communicate most days and we see each other a lot. It's okay to have I call it mental health breaks from the Tanya. Sometimes you just need a rest. Like, I get it. Almost 31 years of friendship. It's 35 going on for 36 years now. I arrived in Brisbane on 1st of August 1988 and met Lynn several months later. A lifetime. I'm so blessed to have such powerful, loving friendships. Lynn and Jared, who literally upheld me for over 30 years and 27 years respectfully. So 35 and 32 years now respectively and respectfully. I meant respectively. Oh dear goddess. But you know what I mean. They're my friends because they treat me respectfully, by the way. If they didn't, they wouldn't be my friends anymore. They had to learn how to navigate the Tanya's strange ways and stoicism and wildness too. Who were courageous in the face of my familial abusers and saved me many, many times. My only family, not of blood, but of heart. I love you. Kiss. 11:11 a.m. So there's another angel synchronicity on the even date in 2019. There you go. There's magic in her fingers, magic in her toes, and everywhere she goes, magic knows and follows. She wrinkles her nose in glee and delight. Another day, another night. No more smiting, no more slight. O Holy One, blessed be the light. I found this dove feather when we returned from our walk, the colours of a power shell. Didn't quite pick up. There was lots of greens and blues and purples. It was actually quite lovely. I actually I put it into my top hat. 28th of July 2018. So I missed out on seeing the lunar eclipse and Mars, but I had a wonderful few hours chatting to Nigel in New Zealand. Nigel. He got all jealous. He sent me a message yesterday. Tanya loves Juddy. I said, Juddy's my friend. Nothing more. Don't get weird ideas. Honestly, it's amazing how my male friends all fight over me and get jealous, and there's nothing to be jealous of. I'm not doing anything sexual with any of them. You know, Juddy and Scott are both unavailable anyway. And, you know, and Nigel, Mama T's allowed to love my friends and people I love. I love you too. But oh my goodness, naughty, naughty, very naughty. Been officially pulled into line by the Tanya. But we are good friends, and I understand that he gets jealous sometimes. You know, we've been friends for 20 years. We've never even met in person. Isn't that ironic? It's a bit intense, actually. By the way, before all my other male friends go insane, Nigel is gay, so there's nothing sexual happening with him either. So you can all spin on your own dimes in your own small corners of hell, imagining all these scenarios. None of them are real. Just calm your farm, all of you. Dear Goddess, it's ridiculous, my life, how it pans out sometimes. But anyway, back in 2018, Nigel, thanks for the laughs, the lovely readings, and the wonderful company, Nige. You are a delightful friend. Yes, you are. That just kind of, I don't know why. Tanya loves Juddy. I love all my friends. I do. All of them. I really enjoyed our moon madness and how we both got the giggles around 1 a.m. my time. Yup. It's the lemonade. I absolutely derive such joy from all my wonderful, loving, authentic and caring friends and my cousins and my daughter back when she was still authentic and caring. Dear Goddess. You make my life so amazingly good, and I am so fortunate that we all have each other. I wonder if I should go back to Myala and leave a special blessing with Grandmother Tree, because the last time I was there together was with my daughter before it all went fucking rancid. Maybe we picked up some dark influence up there. I might have to return it back to where it came from. But I guess it's just it's just her own stuff, her own choices. No, I'm not going to blame it on the Fae. I'm not. There's some things that are just not supernatural, but just personality disorder defects. It's just horseshit is what it is. 28th of July 2016. Today I adopted 3 rescue hens. They all look like Tabitha, reddish brown. I hit the ground running and drove to Capalaba. Lynn lent me money to buy more laying mash as I'd run out but don't get paid until Tuesday. Thanks, Lynn, my champion. Thanks so much, Lynn. She's such a good friend to me. When I run out, she bails me out and I pay her back. Sometimes she doesn't want me to pay her back, but usually I pay her back. I came home just on dusk and unloaded the grain and put it into the containers that I like to store the mash in. Then I went to check on the new girls. They were all huddled in the nest as they had never had a perch before. They were raised in those horrible factory farms where their feet never touch the ground on metal floor. Oh, it's awful. I knew they were tortured. They had no idea how to even perch or lay down properly. So I lifted them each up onto the perch so they get the idea. I also locked up the other hens in their coop. Then somehow I left my glasses in the new hen's coop. So I spent the last half hour searching all over the house and garden for my glasses as I can't see TV without them. It was rather funny. I checked the coops twice. I spiraled into despair. I lost my good pair of glasses and suspect the turkey may have stolen them and put them in his mound by now. So I really need these spare glasses as there are no options if I lose these ones. So anyway, I got the urge to check on the new girls again, and this time I looked under their perch and phew, there were my glasses. I have no idea how I dropped them and did not even notice. Nuts. But all good. All good now. I can see now, and everyone is safe in their nests. Lynn wrote, hence looking without seeing and the difference thereof. And I replied, lol, having crisp, clear vision is crucial to our success. And Jared wrote, some things are best left unseen. lol. And I replied, eh? And she replied, touche. And then she said, a doctor I saw today said some things can't be unseen. How true. And then I replied, to see with eyes that enhance the invisible, or to close our eyes and see nothing at all but the insides of our mind and imagination. It is all illusion. I still want my fucking glasses though, just saying. Oh my goodness. I once lost a pair of glasses on a day trip down at Byron Bay when I went there with Karen in the surf. The surf took them away. I couldn't find them for love or money and underneath on the sands. Just got washed away. And then I had to drive back from Byron, a 2-hour drive, like with very blurred vision because I can't see without my glasses. And it was utterly terrifying. I knew I'd be okay once I was on the highway travelling at 100 kilometres per hour because, you're moving and there's no traffic holding you back, and I'll just stay in the left lane safely. But as fate would have it, to add to my stress, and Karen doesn't drive, by the way, so there was no other way to get us home. It was very, very astonishing. But as fate would have it, we copped some kind of peak hour traffic, or there'd been some accident somewhere further miles down the highway. So we were stuck bumper to bumper in traffic on the highway going nowhere. And the only way I could see to drive to keep going on the road, which we were going very slowly, just moving slowly forward, was by trying to locate the number plate on the car in front of me, which I could barely see. And I was shaking with nerves and anxiety because I was so scared that I would kill both Karen and I, by the way, or cause a terrible accident because I couldn't see to drive. So now I keep a spare pair of glasses in my car just in case that should ever happen again, that I lose a pair of glasses. But who would have thought, what a crazy thing to happen. I would never have thought that could happen to me. Anyway, I drove the 2 hours. I got us back to my place safely, and I think Karen went home by, she normally did by bus and train or whatever, however she gets herself back to Bracken Ridge. But I said to Karen when we got home, I said, I didn't want to tell you, but I sweated blood the whole way, Karen. She was like, yeah, I kind of guessed at that. It was terrifying. You want to give yourself a cheap thrill, lose your glasses, a 2-hour drive from home. But Jesus, wasn't my idea of fucking free falling either. And we had to come home early because there's no point, can't see anything, and I can't be driving around in unknown streets that I don't know how to navigate around, half fucking blind. So at least on the freeway you're just going straight home, So it ruined our entire day out. She was not happy with me for that, understandably so. But oh man, far the fuck out. If I lose my glasses, I go insane. Apparently I've got the beginnings of cataracts too, so 10 years I'm going to need fucking cataract surgery. That's going to be epic. I can't stand anything poking near my eyes. I'll go insane. Anyway, I guess it's that or go blind though, so catch 22, you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. But anyway, I'll cross that bridge when I come to it. 5 more sleeps until payday. Woot, I had a nice day today, although I still feel like a stuffed scarecrow, empty and full at the same time. Oh well, I can always stone the crows, or dream of being stoned. I mean stoned as in under the influence of cannabis, which I very rarely smoke, by the way. Don't get me wrong. I'm not a recreational drug user. Just very rarely, like a bit of a spliff. I can thank Courtney for the influencing that, to be honest. I didn't start smoking cannabis till I was 38. No, it was Lucy. It was Lucy that introduced me to that. And then when I met Courtney, I was 40 and a half. So, but he was a heavy smoker, so I was always immersed in his frickin' fumes anyway. So there was that. But anyway, never mind. Drugs are bad, okay? I don't recommend them. Do not try them at home. But if you have CPTSD like me, cannabis can be very therapeutic and healing. Gave me a psychotic break one time, but even that was therapeutic and healing, actually. I don't ever want to experience anything like that ever again. It's very frightening, but it healed me in astonishing ways. But I won't be dabbling in any other kinds of drugs. They come up to me at the, Brooklyn Standard, and a couple of a young man last week I said, actually it was Nerida that identified it. She said to the young man quite openly, she said to him, "You're on MDMA." He went, "Yeah, how do you know that?" She says, "I can tell by your face." I was quite impressed, actually. I said, "How did you know that, Nerida?" She said, "Oh, I used to take it." She said, "You got to drink a lot of water. It's terrible fucking stuff." She said, "He's not drinking enough water, Tanya." I said, "Oh my God, is he going to fry? Is he going to fry in front of us?" We spent the rest of the night being paranoid about him frying in front of us. He was fine. He was a bit fried, but he wasn't too bad. And the last fellow on Friday night that approached me that was mad keen, I said, "What are you on?" He went, "How do you know I'm on something?" You can just tell. You can kind of just tell. I said, "I don't know," but I said, "You're not travelling straight. Let's put it just delicately." He loved it. He was like, "That's a very accurate assumption." Anyway, I won't say what he was on because it doesn't matter. It doesn't impact on my life. Go live your best life. Do what you're going to do. Just don't get fucking weird with me. It's all I have to say about that. Can't stand people on drugs or people who are straight. Doesn't matter whether they're on drugs or not. Can't stand weirdos. Anyway, he was a nice fellow in the end. All ended very nicely indeed. I'm watching Fargo Season 2, taking a break from Broadchurch. I'm looking forward to getting acquainted with the 3 new hens tomorrow. I will have to find names for them. 9:48 p.m. I feel woozy and befuddled. Gonna hit the hay with my beautiful bow and dream the psychedelic dream, meaning Technicolor dream. Today was a day of unexpected blessings of the feathery kind, thanks to assistance from my beautiful friends, Jared, who told me about the rescue hens, and Lynn for shoring up my food supplies for the hens. I'm looking forward to eggs in a few days. It usually takes that long for hens to settle back down to laying. These new ones are 12 months old, so they should have a few more years in the lay. One didn't. She never laid. Must have been exhausted. Poor little girl. Happy, grateful, blessed woman here, surrounded in love and abundance and gifted with peace and joy. 28th of July 2015. Still bloody crook. Oh my God, this was the prelude to the suicide attempt, mind you, a month before. I was so sick in the few months prior to that. I took things easy today. I had my skin check. Doctor sent off a biopsy. Debrief with my psychiatrist tomorrow. 28th of July 2014. 5:39 a.m. Sleepless in Holland Park due to euphoria. I slept all day Saturday and Sunday. I might as well watch online TV shows and make a cup of tea. Later I wrote, "You bloody beaut, phoria. I wouldn't be dead for quits. After 30 years being a zombie, I know something about feeling dead. Glad to be experiencing such joy and healing. Bring on the next adventure. Hope it's more amazingly good stuff. I deserve it. I was recalibrating from that shitty going nowhere romance with Dave, so I don't remember what triggered the the euphoria. Excuse me. Nasty. I wonder what triggered the euphoria. I didn't write about that. I simply adore how Miss Penny greets me with a propitious headbutt, quickly followed by shoving her ass in my face. It's like, hello. One more reason why cats are gods. They are honest about their feelings, even if their sense of propriety is a tad marked. You have to laugh. I miss her. I'd do anything for her to shove her ass on my face one more time, even though it could be a bit stinky at times. I miss my Penny. I am grateful for the people who have come into my life and stayed true, for the people who left my life but gave me important lessons, which, although painful, were character building. For my soul family who love me no matter what, for this body, mind and soul, for my guardians who inspire me, protect me, and guide me through dark places and dark nights of the soul. I'm grateful to God who creates the worlds above and below anew each day and breathes life, love, and beauty into my soul. I'm grateful for the present moment and for a future even as yet unimaginable, for happiness, for deep, abiding love, for mana, for letting go of anger and regrets, for manifesting positivity in a lackluster world, for never giving up and for remembering whom I truly am and am yet to become, for standing fearlessly in my own power, for learning not to yield to abusers, for the day, for the night, for the sun, moon and stars, for life. L'chaim. L'chaim in Hebrew, when you toast someone with alcoholic drinks, we say, L'chaim, to life. I shared a meme by Salma Hayek, that's the Mexican actress. I keep waiting to meet a man who has more balls than I do. Oh dear goddess, I hear you, sister. High five on that one. Bam! Slam dunk. Indeed we do. Efren Pardo wrote, she is married now with a millionaire, so probably that is what she really meant. Efren, she is a stunning woman, a famous actress, wealthy in her own right. It is hard to find men with balls. Trust me. I've had to be my own man for 20 years now, and I truly despair. Try 29 and a half years, babies. And I truly despair that I will ever find a man with enough balls or decency to be my partner. Strong women struggle with this often. Perhaps, like me, she has had to struggle in love. I don't know her personal love history, but that statement tells me that she has been unlucky like me. If she has married a millionaire now, after she made that comment, then I hope she is happy. Who doesn't want a millionaire, babies? It's my mother's favourite. I think it was from Eva Gabor. How did it go? It was a famous quote. Something, is that too much to ask? I want a man who's kind and loving and sweet and generous or something, blah, blah, blah. And then the punchline was, is that too much to ask of a millionaire? And my mother would impersonate it, and it was so fucking hilarious. I used to fall down crying because it's true. But money isn't everything. If you marry money, you earn it. I found that out at 19. Fuck's sake. Was I kept like a prisoner in my own fucking home. Kept on the barest fucking minimum and treated like a dog. Oh, by the gods. So Salma Hayek, I hope she's married to a nice millionaire. They must exist. There must be nice ones out there. My husband wasn't even a millionaire, by the way. Just a pretentious, spoiled little mummy's boy. So there is that. And no, I'm not over it yet. I'll probably never get over it. Don't make a bad enemy of me. It's not wise. Money isn't everything, but as I have none, I can't know what I am missing. It's true. I would die to be loved just for me. Well, that's all I have to offer is little old me. Sad but true. But men don't want broke and broken women. No, they don't. Women who have had to rise like the phoenix from their own personal fiery hell. Why are these people annoying me on Instagram with their stupid jewellery things? Oh, I'm going to block them all. They're really annoying me. I'm trying to make this video and I keep getting hammered by this. They're usually spammers, like wanting you to sign up for some stupid thing. They're all going to be blocked when I finish this video. They're really annoying. Where was I? Women who have had to rise like the phoenix from their own personal fiery hell to breathe life into themselves again are really frightening to men. Yes, we are. We're very intimidating. Especially men who are abusers are very, very intimidated. A man who genuinely loves you is never intimidated. He just sees through it and recognises the calibre and the power and the magic of that particular woman. It's how you know they love you. My friend who said, I love your power. That's how I knew as a friend he loves me. I get this. It's tragic, but I truly get it. So yes, I went to remind my friend Efren that Salma Hayek is an independent woman in her own right, and she deserves to be happy and loved by someone who adores her just as much as any other woman on this planet, and man for that matter. We all deserve to have our one true loves. I went dancing for 2 hours at Irish Murphy's. I got there in time to hear Roscoe Conti sing with Wasabi. Awesome night. Thanks, guys. I was surprised Roscoe actually had a lovely voice too. He was one of the security guards at Irish Murphy's, and we became friends, and yeah, very nice man. Him and his wife, haven't seen them in years. They used to help me out doing my lawn mowing for a few weeks or months, and then we sort of, after I left the Irish Murphy's scene, because of all the evil that was going on there, yeah, they dropped off my friendship perch, but that's okay. Still love you, Roscoe, and your wife, Jackie. I think her name was Jackie. But anyway, still love you. You're a wonderful man. Just remember that. I might harbour resentments against bitter enemies to the day I die, but I also harbour deep, deep abiding affection and or love for people who were good to me too. Don't ever forget that, guys. 28th of July 2013. Just awoke, legs and feet slightly less sore, mouth, not sure if it will need treatment tomorrow, might settle. Mood, content, warm bed, happy body, mind and soul. Wish I had a man to cuddle, but I have my cats. Zulu woke me up, licking my face, ooh, and drooling in my hair, double ooh. Then he took to patting me with his big black paws and being part Persian, unretractable claws. And I'd do anything to be stabbed by his unretractable claws while he was patting me on my chest. Another very healing pet that he was, Zulu. Oh, he loved me. He was always drooling in my hair though. He would just like slobber right into my hair. And I'd do anything. I'd do anything to have him do that, or to see him lying under the jade tree, which was his favourite place to sleep during the day, in the shade of the jade tree. Oh, he was a lovely cat. He really was. All of them. They were all wonderful, wonderful soul friends. I was having a dream about Island Bay, which is where I grew up in New Zealand and Wellington. And some tsunami had raised the sea levels and swamped the houses. And I was quite distressed trying to save people, which is a common dream I have, trying to save people from tsunamis in my dreams. One almighty claw from the paw hooked me and brought me back to reality. Thanks, Zulu. Ouch. Some wake-up call. He's a very demanding man-cat. Reminds me, what do I want? A man. Why do I want a man so very much? 2013. What year is it now? 2024. Nothing much has changed. Perhaps they might be even more demanding, laughing my ass off. Update 2020. I miss my Zulu guy. His funny squeaky yowl, so soft-voiced for such a big cat. I miss how he used to drool in my hair and knead my head while I slept. Funny guy. Ah, yes, he was a wonderful boy. He really was. He ran away for 4 years and moved in with some old man down the road. I thought he died. I'd given up. I called his name for months when he initially took off. And then about 3 months, after calling for 3 months, his name, Zulu. So it sounded kind of funny to be calling that out in the neighbourhood too, by the way. Finally, Crazy John, the Romanian wannabe rapist across the road, says to me, "Stop calling for your cat." I went, "What do you mean?" He said, "He's moved in with an old man down the road. He gets fed steak every day and he sleeps on a cushion beside the old man's chair, and they're both as happy as pigs in mud, and he's never coming back to you, so give it up." I was livid. I said, "He stole my cat from me." John said, "Don't be silly." He was right about that, actually. He's not so crazy in that instance. He says, "Don't be silly. Cats choose their own owners. You have no say in it at all." I said, "I'm going to knock on his door and get my cat back." He said, "Just leave him alone. He's very happy. It's been the most wonderful thing for the old man. He's very happy, and you have enough cats." I looked at him, I thought about it. I seethed with rage for about another 2 or 3 days, and then I let it go. He's right, cats choose their own owners. That's the magic of cats. So I let it go, right? 4 fucking years later, I see this black cat looking like a Persian, like my Zulu, sitting at the house across the road on their front step, just looking at me. And I thought it was hallucinating, actually. I went to this fence and I looked, and I went, "Is that you, Zulu?" And he just turned away, pretended he didn't hear me, little bastard. So I thought, oh, well, I've imagined it, haven't I? Because, sometimes I see spirits. I thought it was a ghost, actually. Anyway, the following day, my daughter Crystal came to visit. And the dog had been acting weird going up and down the fence, but I couldn't see what he was looking for because it was like early, like it was dark. And then Crystal's here, or she came to visit, and she says, "Mummy," and I went, "What?" She said, "Zulu's lying outside along the fence line on the other side of the fence." I said, "Don't be silly. I thought I saw him yesterday." I said, "It can't be him." She said, "Mummy, it's Zulu." So I said, "Will you go out because he won't come to me?" So she went out, went over to him, picked him up, brought him in. She brings him in, and he and I just looked at each other, my cat and I. I said to him, "Where have you been, you naughty, naughty boy? You've caused me 4 years of grief. I thought you were dead. Why have you come home to me now after 4 long years?" I said, "You cheating, lying, frickin' slut of a thing, you too tight." And I went on and on. I was half joking, actually. Crystal said, "Don't call him names, Mummy. He's come home." I said, "Don't be so soft on him. He's been a very naughty boy." Anyway, Zulu just took it and made himself at home. Then after a while I said to Crystal, "Something's terribly wrong here." I said, "Why has he come home? He abandoned us. He left. He's gone. Why is he back?" I said, "Something's happened to the old man." I said, "Go down, knock on the door and see if the old man's okay." Because Zulu apparently had a happy life with him. He wouldn't abandon him. Like he abandoned me, the two-timing fur basket. But anyway, she goes down. No one at the door, but the neighbour came out. She said to the neighbour, "Oh, do you happen to know what's happened to the elderly gentleman that lived here?" And they said, "Oh, yes, he's been put into a home, and his children came and put him into a home. But they said they left the cat behind," which I think is very cruel, actually, to do that. Just abandoned my fucking cat. Well, fortunately, my cat Zulu had a brain, remembered where his bread was buttered, and came straight home to Mama T. Not so stupid after all, was he? So, but like anything, like the prodigal son or the cheating little bastard, he came home with his tail between his legs, crawling back to Mama. So I said to Crystal, "Oh, so he got hungry, so he remembered me, that I was his original owner." And he always had preferred male company. Like he used to live on the front porch of my neighbour's house in the previous house we lived in Mount Gravatt East. And I actually offered him to that man when we moved out. I said, "Do you want my cat Zulu?" I said, "He loves you more than he loves me." And that man said, "No, my wife would never allow it." He said, "But I do love him and I will miss him." I went, "I understand." So, of course, I brought Zulu with me. But anyway, the other reason he moved out was because at that time I had Miss Bella Rosa, my little Pomeranian, and she was kind of driving him a bit nuts too. So that's why he moved in with the old man down the road. He was the only cat, the only pet, and lived there like a king, Used to call him the king of the Holland Park forest cats. Anyway, so that's the story behind Zulu coming home. The old man got shoveled into a home and his selfish kids just didn't give a fuck what happened to the cat. Awful it was. Anyway, he was with me for another couple of years, and then he got a paralysis tick and died, so that was awful too. So we lost Zulu. Anyway, thus concludes today's readings and memories, some happy, some not so happy, of even date. And it's a beautiful day, but it's quite windy out there. My asthma's playing up today too, which is annoying. But I think I'll go out and sit in the fresh air and take Charlie out and get some sunshine and enjoy the early afternoon. It's 1:09 p.m. now, and I've got drumming today at 3:30, so I have to leave at 3. I've got 2 hours to rattle my dags and get ready to drive to West End and sit in circle and do my drumming. So have a beautiful afternoon, evening, morning, wherever you are in the space-time continuum, and take good care, and drum your prayers, dance your prayers, pray your prayers however you wish to manifest them. Some of you do it in churches and temples, like I used to go to temple when I was a religious Jew. And some of you just, go about your business, living your best life, completely unaware of all the gods and ancestors and all the magic that surrounds you. And that's okay too. If you're a materialist, rationalist, atheist, Mama T still loves you too. You still belong. Just don't fight. Don't bother fighting with me about my spirituality like my dear friend Peter down the road used to, because you won't win. It's a fight you'll never win, because it's a belief system that I have cobbled together since very early childhood, and I was probably born with it, to be honest, which is why I fight and defend it to the death. Not to the death as in, religious wars or anything fucking weird like that, but yeah, just you do you, live your best life, and I'll do me, live my best life, and be your own best person, best version of yourself you can be, and no judgment from me, but don't expect me to follow your own ideologies or belief systems. I've got my own ideas about life, just like my cat did when he packed his tail and moved out for 4 years. Even cats have their own ideas about how they want their life to be. And that's fair and reasonable, completely fair and reasonable. But anyway, after a while he was happy he came back to his mama, and we did love each other, and he did drool in my hair quite happily, and it's a happy memory. So, bye for now from Sacred Space at Titania's Realm.